Hey YouTube, Carrot Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Raidraptor Yugioh deck profile for April 2022. I want to update the Raidraptor deck after doing the update to the Black Wings. I was just in a Wing Beast type of mood for deck profiles. This is one of my favorite decks from the Arc 5 series, just focusing on a bunch of different rank up summons and just using Exceed summons in general to have a pretty big board of different Raidraptor monsters, and also being able to utilize all the many different support cards we got from the deck up to the Phantom Rage set. I wanted to update it and stick to as pure of a Raidraptor deck as I could, while still using the good majority of the new support that does complement both the Phantom Knights and the Raidraptors altogether from Phantom Rage. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck for the 3-ofs for the Raidraptor monsters. I'm running 3 Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius. Once per turn during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. So even if you summon out another Vanishing Lanius, you can gain the additional Vanishing Lanius on the field, giving you the 3. And that setup can give you your rank up play, whatever you want to go into for your Xyz monster. But it just helps to initiate those starting off summons. So I definitely like running 3 of this card in the deck. For more search power in the deck, I also run 3 Raidraptor Mimicry Lanius with this card once per turn during your main phase. If it was normal or special summoned, you can increase the levels of all Raidraptor monsters you currently control by 1. And during your main phase, if this card's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can banish it to add 1 Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand, except for Mimicry Lanius. And you can only use this effect of Mimicry Lanius once per turn. So being able to search out any of the other Raidraptor monsters can just help to extend your plays even more, but also being able to bump up the levels of your Raidraptors can give you access to some other Xyz summon plays in the extra deck, depending on what you want to go for. I also run 3 Raidraptor Pain Lanius. I always had this card at a lower number, but 3 definitely has been coming in a lot more handy. It cannot be used as Xyz material for the Xyz summon except for 1 of a Wing Beast type monster. If this card's in your hand, you can target 1 Raidraptor you control that has a level, take damage equal to its attack or defense, whichever is lower, and then special summon this card. If you do, this card's level becomes the current level of that monster. So the Raidraptors do have a pretty low attack or defense option, depending on which one you target on the field. So being able just to summon out Pain Lanius and then gain that additional level of this card is just another easy special summon on the field. You really won't take that much damage depending on which one you target. You just have to be smart about which ones you do want to target with it. I also run 3 Raiders Wing. This card, it's always treated as a Phantom Knight and Raidraptor card. If it's in your hand or graveyard, you can detach 1 material from your Dark Xyz monster to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Raiders Wing once per turn, and an Xyz summon whose original attribute is Dark and has this card as material gains the effect. Your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Another way to protect a lot of your different Raidraptor Xyz monsters, and the fact that it can also be Xyz summon means that it won't be banished. It'll just be a material when you detach it off to the graveyard. I like that it is a Phantom Knight option also, because with cards like Pain Lanius, you can special summon it and then target the 0 attack of Raiders Wing and take no damage off of the Pain Lanius. And then also for another one of the 3-ofs, I do run a lot of 3-ofs in the Raidraptor deck, but they all work very, very well together. I run 3 Strangle Lanius. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for dark monsters. And if you control an Xyz monster with a dark Xyz monster as material, you can target 1 level 4 lower Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it has its effects negated. You can only use each effect of Raidraptor Strangle Lanius once per turn. This card just extends more and more plays, like I spoke of before. Just controlling that Xyz monster with a dark Xyz monster means it is relying on the rank up Xyz options, which will use a lot of your different spells in this deck to go into. I also run for the last of the 3-ofs 3 Tribute Lanius. During your main phase, if it was normal or special summon, you can send 1 Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard. And during your main phase 2, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, you can add 1 rank up magic quick play spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for Raidraptor monsters. Being able to set up with most of the time your target being Mimicry Lanius with your Tribute Lanius will give you a banish and a search from your graveyard using this card. That's why I like to have the max 3-ofs. So you always have those targets available to you, but being able to also search out the many 1-ofs for the quick play rank up spells also comes in handy since you want that particular one for a specific summon. And for some of the lower numbers for the Raidraptor monsters, I also run 2 Raidraptor Yugioh. If all monsters you control are Raidraptor monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target one Raidraptor spell or trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can use each effect of Yugioh once per turn. So the big play comes in handy with recycling your Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw using your Yugioh. It is a level 3 Raidraptor, but I also have the Raidraptor Ystrix, which just needs 2 Dark Wing Beast type monsters to summon out. So even if I'm not going to go for the Xyz play, obviously with this card, I can at least summon it out on the field and then use it for the Link summon using that monster and one other one. And then for some of the one-ofs, I also run 1 Raidraptor Ystrix and 1 Singing Lanius. I thought of increasing the number of Ystrix. If you wanted to, drop down the number of Yugioh, you can run 1 Yugioh and try a second Ystrix. But Ystrix is searchable with a good number of Raidraptor cards we have in the deck, and there is that 1-card combo using the Rank Up Magic Skip Force with it. But with all the consistency we have with the new Raidraptors, I just find it easier to at times just go into some of the other plays, or at least just search out the Ystrix with my other cards. And that is it for the main deck monsters. I guess I want to stick to as pure of a Raidraptor build as I could, but for the spells, I run 3 Rank Up Magic Skip Force. With this card, you target a Raidraptor Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Raidraptor monster that is 2 ranks higher than that card by using it as Xyz material. It's treated as an Xyz summon, and Xyz materials attached to that target also become the Xyz monster's materials. And during your main phase, except the turn where this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and this card and 1 Raidraptor monster from your graveyard to target a Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So having multiple Skip Force in the deck means that if it's set up in the graveyard, you can banish it, summon out that Xyz monster, then use another Skip Force to go into a higher ranked monster than the one you already had special summoned out onto the field from your earlier Skip Force play. And I also run 2 Rank Up Magic Soul Shave Force. You pay half your life points, target 1 Raidraptor Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck 1 Xyz monster that has 2 ranks higher than that monster, using it as Xyz material. So with this card, you can rank up into other cards. It doesn't specify the Xyz monster has to be a Raidraptor, so you can go into cards like Cyber Dragon Infinity quite easily using this card, or even some other resources depending on the card you want to go into. It can also be another Raidraptor, but the Cyber Dragon Infinity play is definitely my favorite to go into. And for some of the one-ups for the rank up spells, I also run 1 Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force. This card, just by banishing, you can go into an Xyz monster, so another faster way if you utilize a lot of different monsters in the graveyard. Then you can rank up into a higher Raidraptor Xyz monster, but also giving you the options for going into cards like Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon can be your winning condition right then and there, attacking into your opponent with a high attack point monster. I also run the 1 Doom Double Force. This is a way to go from a rank 4 to a rank 8 just by doubling whatever the Xyz monster. You have targeted an Xyz monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent to this turn. You special summon it, and then special summon 1 Xyz monster that has twice the rank of that monster. So if you have a rank 6 that was destroyed, you can get out a rank 12. If it was a rank 4, you can get out a rank 8. And lastly, the 1 Rank Up Revolution Force is a option that I mostly use when I summon out my Revolution Falcon Air Raid, and then I want to go into Arsenal Falcon with them. Since Arsenal Falcon is a rank 7, this is my best way, I would say, to go about summoning out that card in this deck. And I also run the 1 Raidraptor's Nest. It's search power. If you control 2 or more Raidraptor monsters, you can add 1 Raidraptor monster from your deck graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Raidraptor Nest once per turn. Another option for searching out our Raidraptor Ystrix to our hand, and also being able to search out this card when you banish. Since it says a Raidraptor card on Mimicry Lanius, you can add this card as one of your go-to cards, activate it on the field, and then have your search right there. And for more draw power, since I do run a good majority of playsets for all the different Raidraptor monsters, I run 3 Allure of Darkness, just not a once per turn draw. So if I have multiples of some specific Raidraptors that really don't do much for me, having the same name of each, I can at least draw into something hopefully a little more useful using Allure of Darkness. And for the other one-ups for the spells, I run 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Pot of Avarice, and 1 Foolish Burial for, once again, the Mimicry Lanius setup. If you wanted to go for a special summon speed up of Ystrix, you can always take out the Avarice for a 1-for-1. It comes in handy for special summoning it onto the field, but you do have to also send another monster from your hand to the graveyard using that, so remember that. And for the traps, I only run a couple traps. I run 2 of the Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw. When a monster effect is activated, detach 1 material from your Dark Xyz monster. Negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then, if the detached material was a Phantom Knight's, Raidraptor, or Xyz card, 1 you control gains attack equal to that destroyed monster's original attack. Having a more power-up card, but also being a recyclable trap card, being a Raidraptor in names, power trap, from your graveyard to your hand, also comes in handy since you have that recycle power with some of the new Raidraptor monsters that we have in the deck. And lastly, just the 1 Raidraptor Readiness, another protection card. If this turn a Raidraptor monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle, if you have a Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, you can banish this card and you take no damage this turn. So with each one you use, it can be a protection for the first activation on your Raidraptor card, and then from the graveyard also by banishing it. And that is it for the main deck. When I move on to the extra deck for the Xyz monsters, I run 2 Raidraptor Force Strix, one of my go-to ones in the beginning of the game. It gains 500 attack and defense for each Wing Beast type monster you control other than this card. And once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from it to add 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast type monster from your deck to your hand. So you can add plenty of different cards, the majority in the deck. Aside from Heel Eagle and Last Strix, you can search out all the other different Raidraptor monsters using Force Strix and just continue your plays with a lot of them, like with Lanius, being able to detach the other material from the Force Strix, since it is a once per turn detach, and then summoning it onto the field using that last material. I also run 2 Raidraptor Satellite Cannon Falcon. It destroys spell and traps on the field. Your opponent cannot activate cards in response to it. And another one to use with Doom Double Force, using my Force Strix when it's destroyed to summon this card out as that material. And also being part of the Skip Force play, which I'll show at the end of the video. For some of the one-ofs, I also run 1 Burner Falcon, more of an attack boost gain card. It comes in handy if my XC summon and my opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than mine to make sort of a comeback with the card. Rise Falcon for getting over some big boards with the attack point gain, and also the 1 Air Raid and the 1 Arsenal Falcon for the additional rank up play that I spoke of before. And for some of the bigger monsters, I run 1 Ultimate Falcon and 1 Final Fortress Falcon, both the 2 boss monsters of the deck. The Last Strix Skip Force play is one of my easiest ways to get out Ultimate Falcon, but even just going with some of the rank 6 Doom Double Force plays, or just the Skip Force using my Satellite Falcon was already on the field from all the other rank ups. For more of the generic Dark Attribute Xyz monsters, I also run 1 Raider's Knight, 1 Arc Rebellion, and then also for the Shave Force, I run the 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity. Arc Rebellion comes in handy for the power-up plays when using the newest rank-up spell for the deck, which is the Phantom Knight's rank-up Magic Force, and also being able to use the Raider's Knight for more of that setup by detaching a material from it to special summon from your extra deck 1 Phantom Knight, Raidraptor, or Xyz Dragon monster that is 1 rank higher or lower than this card by using it as face-up material. And then lastly, for the Link monsters, I run the 2 Raidraptor Wise Strix. You need 2 Dark Wing Beast type monsters. If it's Link summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but negate its effects. Also, it cannot be used as Link material. And if a Raidraptor Xyz monster effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell directly from your deck. And if it's a quick way spell, it can be activated this turn, giving me access to all the different ones that I used in the deck. And also being able to also add the rank up magic Skip Force and Soul Shave Force, depending on the certain specific situation I'm in. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, I already spoke of before, and I showed it in previous videos, but the Last Strix combo by just tributing out the Last Strix and summoning out your Raidraptor Satellite Falcon, and then using the Skip Force to rank up into your Ultimate Falcon, gives you a legitimately summoned Ultimate Falcon on the field, which is unaffected by other card effects, and also makes your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack and inflict damage to your opponent. You can also use the same play if you want to go for Final Fortress Falcon with the option of using the Last Strix to summon out the Ultimate Falcon. Remember, its effects will be negated, but then using the Skip Force to then go into the bigger rank 12 Raidraptor monster on the field. Also, for more of the setup, it all comes down to what you open up in your hand, but if you have the Vanishing Lanius, you can then use Vanishing Lanius. Depending on what monster you open up with, you can have additional searches as well. You can summon out the Tribute Lanius, and also send to a special summon. You can send 1 Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard. You can send the Mimicry Lanius, banishing it to add another Raidraptor card, which you can then add the Raidraptor Nest. Since you control the 2 Raidraptor monsters before your Xyz play, you can then add another Raidraptor Raidraptor monster, that can be used to add the Strangle Lanius to your hand, overlaying the 2 into your Raidraptor Forstrix. You can detach a material from that, and then add the additional Raidraptor monster. Don't forget, with the Pain Lanius being a level 1, you can always add the Raidraptor Nest Pain Lanius off of that card, and then the detached for the level 4 monster off of the Forstrix, and then use the detach off of the Forstrix to special summon out the Strangle Lanius onto the field, and then being able to special summon this card for that special summon. And if he controls an Xyz monster with a dark Xyz monster material, you can target one level 4 in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated for that play for your Strangle Lanius to get your Vanishing Lanius out on the field, and then you can target your Strangle Lanius with your Pain Lanius, or even your Forstrix, depending on the attack you want lowered, to special summon down the field, making it a level 4, giving you one more Xyz play to then go into your Forstrix again, detaching one since it's not a hard once per turn, giving you one more search from the deck. You can search out your Singing Lanius, which then you can use to special summon onto the field, and then use those 2 for the link summon of your Ystrix, or even overlay the additional 2 monsters, depending on where your life points stand, into the Blade Burner Falcon, or even going for the additional option, all depending on what card you may have also opened up within your hand. If you had the additional Skip Force, you can rank up one of your Raidraptor Xyz monsters into the rank 6 option, which would be the Revolution Air Raid Falcon. You can always go for the Forstrix. That doesn't have any more materials on it since you use them with the Strangle Lanius there. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, the Raidraptors are one of my favorite decks to always update. I feel like we could definitely be due for some support in the near future, just like I said in the Blackwing video. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Twig out.